Sports Network. Tonight's 7th District 3 game is being played at Pennington Field, the home turf of Trinity Sports, featuring the Panthers of Paschal High and your Trojans of Trinity High. We want to invite all of our Trojan fans to spread the word regarding our broadcast of tonight's game through Trinity Sports Network of our Trinity Sports teams. The live stream can be located by following one of two pathways. The first pathway, by viewing the Trinity High School website, clicking the Activities tab, then click Sports Teams, and then click on the Trinity Athletics online broadcast. And of course, the second pathway would be by downloading the mobile app from the Trinity High School athletic website, which is also located under the Sports tab on the school website. With just under 13 minutes here in our pregame ceremonies, it has been senior night. We have been recognizing seniors of different clubs here prior to the game. This week, our broadcasting team continues the session entitled Ask the Coach. Through this streaming event, we interview Trojan head coach Coach Jensen, asking the coach to reflect on last week's game, share this week's team mantra, and answer a few non-traditional, non-football related questions from players, colleagues, and fans. So now, sit back, listen, and enjoy this session of Ask the Coach. Football fans, and welcome to another session of Ask the Coach with Trinity Trojan head coach Coach Jensen. Good morning, Coach.
Morning.
In looking back on this season, it's been a real roller coaster ride, especially in relation to our health situation and what's been going on with that crisis. And as we look forward from that, along with looking back, what are your thoughts in regards to our game this past week?
We're obviously happy with our performance and the result of being able to wrap up the district championship once again against a really good Halton team. Pretty well dominated it from start to finish. But what I'm really proud of these guys, this team, and these coaches, is the consistency day in and day out. Because it's been very tough, tougher than usual, because you play a game and then you're off a week, or somebody has to cancel or forfeit, whatever it may be, and it really makes you break it down to the day to day. And the coaches and the players have been doing a good job of just getting a little better each day, and the results take care of themselves.
In the past, we talked about the mantra, and part of that mantra was smart teams.
Mm-hmm.
As we watched and observed the game, it looked like just smart play on every cylinder, offensively, defensively, special teams. What's your viewpoint?
Well, the kids are doing a great job between the whistles. Okay, we still got some improvement to go as far as a little bit after that whistle.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I'd rather have a group of guys that you have to kind of rein back in than try to talk them into playing hard. I don't think anybody plays harder than us. Our kids know what to do. They're well coached. And I'm talking about the other coaches. They do a great job. We just got to make sure that we don't do anything to hurt ourselves. That's where the smart comes in.
Okay. All right, great. And as you look ahead tomorrow night with Paschal, any thoughts in regards to wrapping up the entire district schedule?
Well, just along the same lines of what we've done all year is we want to play well. And, you know, if you're playing a team that's struggling, then you should dominate that team. And when it's all said and done, regardless of what the score is, who the opponent was, can we go back and look at it and say, man, we gave it our best shot. And so far, we've come close to playing our best, but we still haven't played our best football game yet. So, you know, we got a quote on the back of the itinerary for tomorrow. It says, you know, we can do no great things. We can only do small things with great love, great passion. So we're not focused on beating Paschal. We're focused on doing our little job, no matter how big or small it is, noticeably well with that Trinity Trojan spirit.
All right. I got 3 questions for you this week, Coach.
All right.
The first is, and I think this is throughout the entire holiday season, is there a special holiday meal you enjoy?
Well, as you can see, I enjoy it all. Okay, but to me, the holiday meal isn't as much about the food as it is. My favorite meal is when we can all get together with family and people and loved ones, and you know, break bread together there, because everyone's so busy all the time. Once you can just stop, get together, and you know, spend a couple hours around the table, that's special, regardless of what's on the table.
Right. Okay. During this time of year, a lot of special music. Do you have a favorite holiday song?
Oh, gosh. I don't think I really have a favorite there. It's kind of the same answer as with the food. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Right.
All the music's good, all the food's good. Who you're listening to the music with would be, you know, I guess my roundabout answer.
Okay. And then the final question that we have, as you look ahead and as you consider the holiday season and this special time of year, what do you wish for this holiday season?
Well, that it's not a holiday. You know, if we continue to advance in the playoffs, we play all the way, we practice or play almost every day through the Christmas break. And so, you know, I wish that it's not a holiday, and then if we do keep advancing, then for strength with the players and the coaches, just to keep at it each day, because, you know, we started this way back in June 8th after the shutdown, and they said we could start on June 8th with limited activities. That was a long time ago,
right? And
there's a lot left.
Right.
So it's kind of a marathon, not a sprint at this point. But our attitude is we've gone through this far. It makes no sense to fade out now.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Coach, I appreciate you joining us throughout this entire season,
you bet.
Allowing us to interview you weekly and take up your time. And we look forward to all sitting back right now, as in just a few minutes we will kick off here at Pennington Field with the game featuring the Panthers of Paschal and the Trojans of Trinity High. Well, hello, football fans, and welcome back to Pennington Field for tonight's game featuring the Panthers of Paschal High and the Trojans of Trinity High. At this time, as the pregame rituals come to completion, the Trojans begin their march to the field of competition here at the Pen, taking their appropriate stance at the near sidelines. And at this time, the team will prepare to perform their ceremonial sippy towel. So let's pause for just a moment and listen to the action near the sideline. Trinity Trojans and their ceremonial sippy towel. As always, would like to welcome back to the booth teacher, coach, color commentator extraordinaire. Welcome, Coach Jay Fitch.
Well, thanks, Damon. I appreciate that. I'm glad to be up here. It's a great day to be in the press box. A little chilly on the way up the stairs tonight.
A little cool down there on the turf, most definitely, as both teams are preparing for our national anthem that will be preceded by the captains and the coin toss. And so that will take place here momentarily.
Damon, is it weird to you that we're into December and we're still playing district football games?
It is very unique and unlike anything I think I've ever experienced in my career. How about you?
I've never seen anything like it. Obviously, 2020 has been a little bit bizarre, but, you know, every team has reached a goal this year. The goal for most teams is to be able to play through Thanksgiving. Here we are.
Here we are, absolutely. We're playing through Thanksgiving, and hopefully we might even be playing through Christmas and into the new year. Wouldn't that be very unique and awesome at the same time?
That'd be incredible.
So the captains are taking their places here with the officials making their way down the midfield stripe to the middle of the field. Lead captain for the Trojans, number 67, Alex Hernandez. Other captains for the Trojans this evening, number 43, D'Angelo Simmons, number 68, Brandon McCullough, and number 86, Tyler Quinn, make up the four captains for the Trojans.
For the Trojans, number 67.
Here's the coin toss.
Hernandez.
Indication by our officiating crew, the Panthers have won the toss. They have elected to defer.
Paschal won the toss, elected to defer, and kick, start the game.
And so the Trojans will receive the football from the west end. From your viewpoint, that will be from your right to your left.
Damon, when you look at that flag, which way is that flag blowing to you?
That flag looks to me like it's blowing almost directly out of the west to the east, doesn't it to you, Jay?
It kind of appears that way. Paschal's chosen to kick into the wind to start the game. That's a little bit different. We may have they may have something up. Just start us with something a little bit exciting.
Well, looking at my weather book here, and currently in Bedford, Texas, that's showing 40 degrees, but down on the turf feels like 37. Let's pause for our national anthem. Honoring America, this great country, the singing of our national anthem, performed by Harmony, Trinity High School Show Choir, under the direction of Mr. Michael Dean. Thank you to Harmony and all of its very talented members. So 40 degrees, feels like 37 with a wind chill, and according to the wind here in Bedford, Texas, currently it looks like it's west-northwest, Jay, 6 gusting to 12.
Kind of makes me wonder if what Paschal's got planned for this opening kickoff.
Kicking into the wind, I would think something special, but we're going to get to see exactly what that is here in just about 60 seconds as both special teams are taking the field. The Trojans receiving the football here in the first half.
Our temperature is 42 degrees.
By the way, Damon, I think it's about 73 up here. That's pretty good.
It does feel nice in the booth. We are very blessed to be here. We'd like to thank all of our fine folks here at Pennington Field for allowing us to utilize their booth of choice for our media and broadcast purposes.
Back deep to receive for the Trojans. Number 2, Ollie Gordon. Number 5, Janice Lyons.
So number 2, Ollie Gordon, back deep to receive the football.
15, Ashlock.
Teeing up the ball for the Panthers will be their kicker, number 1.
Set to kick for the Panthers, number 1, Hunter Burleson.
Looks like they're aligned to kick a pooch over to Trinity's right side.
And there's
good high
the
kick. And that was the plan. Get it up in the air, make the wind kind of blow it away. Not a secure, perfectly secure,
42, Joseph Luna.
but Joseph Luna was able to corral that thing. Good field position to start the game for the Trojans.
So the Trojans take over their first possession of play here in the first half. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 27-yard line.
7-yard line.
The Trojans on 1st down, taking the snap, handing the ball off to number 2, Ollie Gordon. He's to the 40, the midfield stripe. He breaks a tackle for the 40, the 30. He's down to the 20 of the Panthers, and he's going to rumble in for the first Trinity touchdown.
It's really, really good blocking at the point of attack. Ollie's a big boy, and he got into the secondary, and they weren't able to get him to the ground, and he showed a little burst, which is always good to see. Nice to see that he's healthy, full speed on that run. You know, we can pretend all we want to. Trinity should win this game unless something catastrophic happens. It'll be interesting to see how the coaches use their personnel tonight. We might get to see some different names. But it's a pretty good start.
It is a great start. Special teams come on. The snap, the hold by Cade Bartholomew, and the kick by Hernandez is up, and it's good. So with 11:47 remaining here in the first quarter, the Trojans taking the lead over the Panthers 7-0.
This is one of the hardest weeks as a coach to prepare for. Your players are aware of the opponent that they're playing. They know in their mind that they should win this game. Paschal is officially eliminated from the playoffs, so they really have nothing to play for. Trinity is locked in as the number 1 seed, so there's nothing that they're going to gain from this. So keeping your kids focused, staying motivated, and again, avoiding the sloppy. We've seen 3 really, really good performances in a row as far as team play from Trinity. So we'll see how well the coaching staff communicated with the kids. Obviously, based on the first play, worked pretty well.
It did work very well as the Trojans take an early lead here in the game. Special teams are on the field, teeing up the ball for the Trojans. Number 91, Kelson Cotner. Cotner's kick is up, and it's away, sailing over the head of the Panthers and into the end zone. So that will wind up as a touchback for the Panthers. That'll bring the ball out to the Panther 25, where the Panthers will take over their first possession of play here in the first half.
You know, Kelson is really, really close to sticking one of those balls on the 1, and the receiving team's letting that go over their head, just hoping it's going to go in the end zone. I think he did it against Bell, and the ball bounced straight up in the air, and they were forced to return it, got out to about the 8. He's a really nice weapon to have.
So the Panthers taking their first possession. We've got twins to each side. Single back. Got a name for that, Jay? Favorite?
No.
No.
Double twins. This formation looks like something that Trinity used to have in their playbook.
So the quarterback takes the snap, hands it off to the running back, and he's met behind the line of scrimmage by that large Trojan defense. That's going to be a loss. of 8 for the Panthers. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 18 from their own 17-yard line.
I see that LD Martin, who's been just a force defensively, had a little bit of an ankle, I think, last week, and they may be giving him a break. It's going to be fun to see Sateki Wolfgram out here on the edge. They moved him out from the middle.
So the Panthers trips to the near side, single split receiver to the far, take the snap, hand the ball off to their lone back.
Stay up.
He's hit just beyond the line of scrimmage. Looks like it'll be a gain of 3 on the play for the Panthers. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 15 from their own 20-yard line.
In that first formation, I would have called doubles, Damon. I was just kind of giving you a hard time.
For the Trojan defense, 95.
We're going to use that throughout this game now, Jay. We've got trips to the far side, single receiver to the near, lone back. Here's the snap by the Panthers.
Trips into the sidelines a little bit different. They may be trying to isolate down here on the bottom. They have one-on-one. Nice tall receiver. Cody Cripple, it appears, is down here by himself against Javius Lyons.
There's the snap. The quarterback drops back. He looks to the near side. That ball is tipped, and it will fall incomplete for the Panthers. So that's going to bring up a 4th and 15 for the Panthers from their own 20-yard line, and their special teams will come on to punt the ball away to the Trojans.
That's Connor Culp throwing the ball for Paschal. That's a good ball, just a little bit behind, and Makai Nicholson wasn't able to bring that one in. Had a chance.
Back in punt formation for the Panthers, number 4, Hunter Bertelstein.
So here is the punt by the Panthers. Panthers get the ball off. The ball hangs in the air. Looks like it's going to take a bounce and bounce out of bounds on the far sideline. So the Trojans will take over their second possession of play. Here in the first half, it'll be 1st and 10. Trojans from the Panther 43.
All right, just saw something you won't see very often. The deep player on that was Sateki Wolfgram. Don't very often see an inside linebacker dropping back deep to catch a punt.
So we'll keep an eye on that and see if that happens with each of those special team plays by the Panthers. Here's the Trojans. They've got twins to the near side. They take the snap, hand the ball off to their tailback. It's going to be a gain of 7 on the play.
Number 2, the ball carrier for the Trojans.
That was well blocked. We got really good push. Not one of Ollie's best runs. He needs to go ahead and pick a hole. You know, he had a 73-yard touchdown on the first touch. It's going to be tough for him mentally not to think, I'm going to go score every play. He needs to go ahead and stick his head down and make some yardage.
So only a gain of 6. That brings up 2nd and 4. The Trojans take the snap, drop back, look to the near side. It's caught by number 7. He's to the 30 and finally tripped up by the Panther secondary.
That's Jaquan Black making the catch. Jaquan, you know, he's played a little bit of quarterback for us, but he's getting a lot more reps out here on the outside. His confidence level as a receiver, he's been a quarterback in the junior high levels and on the JV last year, but he's looking more and more comfortable as a weapon on the outside. It's good to see.
So that'll be sufficient enough yardage for a Trojan first down. 1st and 10 for the Trojans from the Panther 29-yard line. Twins to the far side. The Trojans take the snap. They hand it off again to the running back, number 2, Gordon. He's down to the 10, and he'll finally be knocked out of bounds down around the Panther 6-yard line.
Again, really good job blocking at the point of attack. Fullback came through, got a good push at the start. I see some tweaks with the personnel. It looks like Max Basilique was playing on the inside slot some. It's good to see they're doing a little bit of experimenting. Unbalanced on this play.
Twins to the far side. The quarterback takes the snap, hands it off to his fullback. That ball winds up the rock winds up on the turf. And that football is going to go over as a fumble to the Panthers.
I didn't see exactly what happened. That's just an inside trap. There's a path issue for the fullback on that one. When we run that trap, we really want the fullback to almost try to run straight through the quarterback. That secures your handoff. He was a little bit wide. The ball got away from him just a little bit. Can't have those kind of turnovers.
So the Panthers take over their second possession of play here in the first half. It's 1st and 10 Panthers from their own 7-yard line. Quarterback taking the snap, drops back, looks to the near side. That pass falls incomplete, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Panthers from their 7.
On the defense for the Trojans. Brings up 2nd down, Panthers.
So the Panthers breaking the huddle, twins to the far side, single split receiver to the near, lone back. Here's the snap, quarterback rolling to the far side, looks for the receiver, and again, that pass will fall incomplete, bringing up a 3rd and 10 for the Panthers from their own 7.
That's a nice pressure by Josh Taylor coming off the edge, looping in from the inside linebacker. Forced the quarterback to get rid of it probably a step sooner than he wanted to. Looks like David Longy is getting a start on the inside linebacker this week. He's been playing really well in the rotation.
So the Panthers, twins to the far side, single split to the near. 2 backs, quarterback takes a snap, drops back, looking to pass. That pass looked to me like it was tipped and will fall incomplete, and that'll bring on the Panther special teams and a 4th down from their own 7-yard line.
I think Nia Mose off the edge came really quick off the edge. I think he got his hands up and got a hand on that one. Yeah, that's a nice job. It's good to see pressure, making the quarterback throw quick. He's not getting comfortable back there. That's a good start for the Trojan defense.
So the Panther special team on to punt. The Trojans in punt return formation, and that ball, due to the wind, is up. It comes down to the turf, taking a Trojan bounce, and then that ball is tipped by a Trojan, and I believe finally recovered by the Trojans at the Panther 17.
As a heads-up play by David Longy to fall on that thing. I understand what the punt returner saw, trying to get him. Paschal had run past the ball.
Trinity, the first of the half.
So the official on the turf giving a sideline warning to the Trojans prior to the beginning of their 3rd possession of play here at Pennington Field. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Trojans at the Panther 17-yard line.
First half.
The Trojans break the huddle, take the snap, hand it off to the running back. I believe that's Maddox, and he's in for a Trojan touchdown.
I don't know that we'll see much more of Ollie tonight.
17 yards into the end zone for the Trojan touchdown.
So that's the 2nd possession where Trinity on one play has taken the rock and deposited it in the end zone. Special teams coming on. Here's the snap, the hold by Bartholomew. The point after is up. And Hernandez attempt.
I think they said it was good.
Is good. I kept looking at the referee.
It just never said anything.
He just kept walking away from me. That's okay. I can watch the guys under the goalpost too. That's not the way that I was taught, sitting all my many years in the booth by Sir Charles Stahl. If he's listening tonight, shout out to Charlie Stahl, the voice of Pennington Field. Good evening to you, sir.
Wow, what a voice.
Yes, absolutely. So it is going to be the Trojans extending their lead 14-0.
You know, that touchdown by Gary, it's a small thing. You know, it's one of those things that you see in film that you're really going to like. But earlier in the season, as he broke through the line of scrimmage, you'd have seen him turn to the sidelines and just try to use his speed out, run somebody. This time he stuck a foot in the ground and he got vertical, beat the guy back inside. Really mature run. It's great to see him improve week to week.
I think things like that, and we have others to talk about this evening, are going to be some things that are really going to benefit us and help us as we continue, or actually begin, our playoff run in the matter of a week. Number 91, Cotner, teeing up the football, and that football with that wind behind it just flies out of bounds, which will be a touchback for the Panthers. This will bring up their 3rd possession of play here in the first half. So it'll be 1st and 10 Panthers from their own 25-yard line.
For the first half.
Usually not a lot of possessions in a Trinity football game, but the way it's going right now, those one-play drives, that may be a little bit more than normal.
Maybe. You know, last week when we were at Haltom, we had like 8 possessions and a half, which is a little more, I think, than we might be used to.
And had some big plays. You know, the explosives that Trinity offense has been having has helped that. Plus, our defense has been playing so well, forcing a lot of 3-and-outs. It's a good run right here.
Yes, it is. On first down, the Panthers in the singular formation, breaking the offensive huddle, taking the snap, pitching it out to their running back over the left side, and he's going to gain sufficient enough yardage for the first Panther first down.
That's sophomore Tommy Bell. That's a good run. Nice job. Has to make the Paschal coaches happy to have a sophomore that looks like that.
So the officials mark the ball at the 45. Panthers, twins to the near side. Single split receiver to the far. 2 in the backfield, taking the snap, handing the ball off once again to that running back. He's met near the line of scrimmage. It'll be a gain of maybe 1 on the play for the Panthers. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 9 for them from their own 46-yard line.
The interior of the Trinity defense is not a place you want to continuously try. Got a little pistol set, tight slot down here on the bottom to the twins. And an adjustment.
So the Panthers taking the snap once again, handing the ball off to the running back, this time over the left side. He's going to gain a couple on the play for the Panthers.
Bell, number 21.
That's going to bring up a 3rd and a long 6 for the Panthers from just shy of their 49-yard line.
Fights for a few yards before being brought down by 32, Coach Jensen, along with number 45.
The Panthers trips to the near side. Split receiver to the far, single back. Whistle, or flag, I should say, prior to the snap.
What a great ball.
Nice pass by the Panthers, falling incomplete.
Pass intended for number 14, William Marshall. There's a penalty marker down on the field.
Indication by our officiating crew.
Offsides, 96 of defense. 5-yard penalty, replay 3rd down.
So offsides being charged to the Trojan defense. They'll mark off 5 yards for the penalty. Be their first of the half.
So penalty mark off against the Trojan to move the ball inside the Trojan territory.
You know, we've seen the ball on the ground a couple times. We see a needless offside penalty. These are the things that the coaching staff, if not on the next possession when they get them off the field, but definitely at halftime they're going to address to try to get the concentration. Again, just want to avoid sloppy.
So here we are on 3rd and 1. The Panthers I formation, take the snap, hand it off to the back. He's hit near the line of scrimmage, and that looks to be sufficient enough yardage for another Panther first down.
Finally brought down by 38, Tabo Asaeli. Ball spotted at the 45 from the Trojans. It's 1st and 10 for the Panthers.
So the Panthers breaking their offensive set. Looks like a wing-back formation. Split receiver to the far side. Quarterback in the shotgun, taking the snap. Cross buck by the Panthers, hands it off to that running back.
Good play.
And he's going to gain 8 on the play for the Panthers. That'll bring up a 2nd and 2 from the Trojan 37-yard line.
Bell, number 21, again the ball carrier, brought down by 45, Richard Reyes.
Nice drive Paschal has going right here.
So again, the Panthers breaking the offensive huddle. Wing formation, split receiver to the far side. Here's the snap by the Panthers. The rock winds up on the turf, but the Panthers will recover. Be a loss of almost 5 on the play.
Number 9, Connor Cole.
So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 6 for the Panthers from the Trojan 41.
Have a personnel change. Looks like they're going to go back to their spread set. Kind of bunched them in. Still have doubles out of the pistol. Back behind the quarterback. walks him up.
Here's the snap by the Panthers. He's dropping back, looking across the middle, then
Space.
pitches that ball out to the near sideline to his running back. Going to be a gain of 3 on the play for the Panthers. That's going to bring up a 4th and 3 from the Trojan 38-yard line.
It's a simple check down pass to the outside, and initially it looked like there was a chance for a lot of yards. There's a really good job of closing out. Sateki got back outside in a hurry, and then the rest of the crew got there in a hurry to finish the tackle, stop him short of the first down. Again, they got a bunch set.
So 4th and 3 for the Panthers from the Trojan 38. He takes a snap. He drops back, looks to the far side, finds the receiver. The ball's pulled in, but he'll be short of the first down marker, and the football will go over on down to the Trojans.
Of the yard to gain by number 11, Sateki Wolfgram. So on downs, the Trojans.
Sateki doing a nice job on the outside, hasn't been there very much. So showing some of that athleticism he has out in space.
This is their 4th possession.
So with just a little over 4 minutes remaining here in the first quarter of play, the Trojans on their 4th possession here in the first half. 1st and 10. Trojans from their own 37-yard line. Trojans taking the snap, pitching the ball out to their running back. Crosses the midfield stripe and finally knocked out of bounds by the Panthers.
That was well blocked on the perimeter.
Number 28, the ball carrier, brought down by number 12.
Gary was able to kind of have a downhill run the whole way.
82, Cardenas.
Really nice job on the outside edge by Kerry Lawson.
So that'll be sufficient enough yardage for the Trojans for another Trojan first down. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Panther 48. The Trojans break the huddle. Twins to the far side. Number 7 quarterbacking for the Trojans. Riding the option, calls his own number, advances the ball across the 45. It's going to be a gain of 7 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 3 for the Trojans from the Panther 42.
That's a read play. Jaquan does a great job of shuffling his feet and making the defensive end commit before he either pulls or keeps. That's really tough on a defensive player. He's got to make a decision at some point. Jaquan does a really nice job of making that defensive end commit. Doesn't give the ball too soon, pulls that well, is well read.
Trojans breaking the huddle. Almost a trips formation to this near side. The quarterback dropping back, looks to the near side, finding his receiver, number 4. Advances the ball across the 35-yard line, and that'll be sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down.
Trinity has really improved their quick screen package, and what that ends up being is just a wide sweep, and it forces the defense once again to run laterally across the field, working the horizontal game, just to kind of wear them down a little bit so the big offensive lineman can take advantage later.
So Twins to the far side. Here's the snap by 7. The read, he hands the ball off to his back. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage by the Panther defensive back. It'll be a gain of maybe 1 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 9 for the Trojans from the Panther 33-yard line.
Just a missed assignment on the outside edge. That's a good read by the quarterback. Jaquan was back in on that play. Gary did a nice job getting back to the line of scrimmage.
So number 7, the junior quarterback, Jaquan Black, under center for the Trojans, breaking the huddle, I formation, takes a snap, hands the ball off to his running back. He's down across the 25, and finally brought down by the Panther secondary. Initial indication by the sideline judge, that's going to be sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down.
Brought down by a host of Panther defenders led by 21.
Again, the explosion of Gary in the hole is really exciting. Just a sophomore, a lot of carries in his future.
First and 10 for the Trojans.
So 1st and 10, Trojans from the Panther 24-yard line, breaking the offensive huddle, I formation. Twins to the near side, the snap, handing off once again to Maddox. He'll advance the ball down near the 20-yard line. That'll be a gain of about 4 on the play. Bring up a 2nd and 6 for the Trojans.
Maddox again, the ball carrier, brought down by 24, Nicholson.
You and I discussed this prior to kickoff, I believe, Jay, about the Trojan continuing to march
Brings up second down for the Trojans.
consistently without a lag over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
They take the snap here, hand the ball off again to the running back. He advances the ball down around the 10, and that'll be sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down.
I don't quite see the same intensity level that I've seen in the previous weeks. We're having a lot of success, don't get me wrong, but there just seems to be a lack of crispness right now. And human nature, that's tough. You know you're playing an inferior opponent. You scored on the first play. You've got 14 points on the board, and they haven't slowed you down really yet. Again, another touchdown by Gary.
So out of the I formation, the Trojans take the snap. They do hand it off to Maddox, and he's in for a Trojan touchdown.
Number 28 taking the handoff from his quarterback. 10 yards into the end zone for a Trojan touchdown.
So the Trojans scoring on 3 of their first 4 possessions. Here's the special teams. For the point after, here's the snap. The hold by Bartholomew. The attempt is up, and Hernandez's attempt is good. So with 34 seconds remaining here in the first quarter of play, the Trojans leading the Panthers 21-0.
The Panthers 0.
Gary made a lot of moves on that one. Damon, did you see the fake punt on one of the college games where the punter had nobody around him, and he made about 4 different moves, faking out air? It was seriously no one within 10 yards of him, and he's making juke moves and everything all the way down the field. He's running like a punter. Kind of what Gary looked like on that one. He could have turned straight up and gone into the end zone, made a couple of extra moves, cut it all the way back. But it kind of reminded me of the punt fake, and anybody that watched any of the college sports, not top 10s,
Right.
they probably saw that.
Right. Totally understandable. And a young running back, as we've already mentioned, that's part of that growth and maturity that we hope will come over the next few years.
And that was fun. You know, he made a lot of people miss just then.
Right. Absolutely. So the Trojans, special teams, taking the field. Number 91,
See if he can stick it in the corner this time, just leave it on the field of play.
Kelson Cotner with the kickoff. The ball up and just looks like it's floating over the turf. The Panthers with the fair. I didn't see a hand.
It was
there
a
hand?
quickie.
Okay.
He just kind of made a little quick swipe.
I thought he would just caught it and was standing there getting ready to be pummeled. I did not see a hand, but it fair caught by the Panthers. So the ball will be brought out to the Panthers' 25-yard line. This will bring about their 4th possession of play here in the first half with 33 seconds remaining in the first quarter. 1st and 10, Panthers from their own 25. And this will be the 4th possession that the Trojans have forced the Panthers to start from either their 25 or longer.
Damon, I've said this every week. I still don't understand teams that are going to try to attack the interior of the Trinity defense. You're going to start, I mean, if you do that on first down, you're going to be 2nd and 8 or more, and it's been consistent all year.
And it's been a loss of 1 for the Panthers, which is going to bring up a 2nd and 11 from their 24. Twins to the near side. Pistol package by the Panthers, and they'll let the clock run out here at Pennington Field. And so the end of our first quarter of play, the Trojans leading the Panthers 21-0.
Defense is having another really stellar game.
Once again, not quite as crisp as you mentioned, especially last week against the game that we had the opportunity to watch and call against Haltom. But still very solid with all cylinders, again, working very nicely for the Trojans.
And again, we had 2 ankles, I think, last week. One was L.D. Martin, as I mentioned before, and the other was nose guard Mina Hanna. neither of those players are playing right now. They're probably going to go ahead and hold them out for the evening. So we do have some personnel changes, and that might have something to do with how crisp they are. But as a whole, the defense is doing a really nice job flying to the football. No missed tackles so far, or very few. When they watch film, they may disagree with me, but it's a really good start, getting some extra reps on the interior from Hiva Afungia as the nose guard. So this is good to get some more plays, more snaps from these guys.
So the Panthers come from the
Overthrow.
sideline
Oof.
in a doubles formation. The quarterback drops back and lets it fly, and that pass falling incomplete for the Panthers. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 here as we continue the beginning of the second quarter of play from the Panther 24-yard line.
That was well defended. Jacob Schaefer over the top as the extra defender on that, came off of a backside post. Former receiver, he's got really good hands. He'll make that play every once in a while.
So the Panthers in a trip formation to the near side. We've seen this formation a few times before, trips to the near side here on the turf. The quarterback takes a snap, the ball winding up on the turf, and it's recovered by the Trojans.
They didn't have anybody for Josh Taylor off the edge. He was a free runner at the quarterback, and I think the quarterback kind of saw it, and he was backing out a little bit quick and just left the ball on the turf.
So the Trojans taking over their 5th possession of play after the fumble by the Panthers. 11:54 to go here in the second quarter of play. Trojans breaking the huddle.
Looks like Cade is in at the quarterback spot.
Number 12, Cade Bartholomew quarterbacking. Takes a snap, hands the ball off to, I believe, number 22. And he'll advance the ball across the 10 down to the 9. Be a gain of 8 on the play. That'll bring up a 2nd and long 1 for the Trojans from just beyond the Panther 8.
We've seen a lot of 22's senior Deontay Hicks, usually later in the game. He's been running the ball really, really well. Great program player. Was a Trojan JV player as a sophomore on the Trinity last year as a junior, and now waited his time. Is getting some really quality reps up here as a senior.
So an official timeout on the field of play here at the Pen, with an injured player being assisted off the turf by the Panther athletic trainers.
I see another personnel move for Trinity. They're using defensive end Tofa Sampt at fullback. Not unusual for Trinity to do that. A lot of times they like to go find a really mobile defensive player that can kind of be the hammer in there if they're wanting to run lead and lead up on a linebacker. He's a little bit heavier than the typical fullbacks that Trinity has. So we might keep an eye to see how he's going to do tonight. Tough deal. There's a lot. The fullback has got a lot going on in the Trinity offense.
So the Trojans break the huddle. I formation, twins to the far side. Quarterback takes a snap, hands the ball off to his running back, and he's in for a Trojan touchdown.
I believe that's Keyshawn Berry. Again, been with the program. He's a senior. He's just a junior, hard runner. Good job.
So the Trojan special teams come on for the point attempt. There's the snap, the hold by Bartholomew. Hernandez's attempt is up, and it's good. So with 11:16 remaining in the first half of play here at Pennington Field, again the Trojans extending their lead 28-0.
You know, there's a lot of people that have watched Trinity in the past, and they're wondering why the starters even stepped on the field. Why would you even take a risk of an injury? You know, anytime you play a game in any level, there's a risk of an injury. Just because it's week 10 against Paschal, week 7 against somebody else, injuries can occur. The important thing for Trinity's coaches and the philosophy that they have is get some reps, keep them in that same rhythm of getting ready to prepare for a game, get ready to open up a first quarter, and then let the game dictate when you're going to want to take them out. Obviously, this one looks like it might be getting out of hand pretty quick, and I don't know that you'll see many of the skill players staying in, especially the backs. but you want them to have the feel of the preparation and pregame. What's it going to be like week after week? Don't miss a week. We saw kind of how sloppy we were when we had to miss a week due to COVID. And with the playoffs starting, you really want to keep that same rhythm.
So the Trojan special teams on the field to kick off. Number 91, Kelson Cotner. That ball kind of hangs in that wind. The Panther special teams
Really good job.
pick it up, advance the ball back across the 10 near the 13-yard line, where the Panthers will take over their 5th possession of play here in the first half.
The Panthers will have it first and 10 from
Jacob did a real nice job. One of the techniques that Trinity will use is they'll kick to one side of the field and they'll try to use their coverage and pin them over on that side of the field, using the left side defenders in this case to come up the field and kind of create a gate so they can't get back over the top. Jacob played that great, and you see that they're starting at the 13. Wing set again. Same play they ran earlier with success.
That running back is met near the line of scrimmage by that strong Trinity defense. Looks like it's a loss of 1 on the play, so that'll bring up a 2nd and 11 for the Panthers from their own 12-yard line.
Seth Moala. Loss of 1 on the play, 2nd down.
Again, the Panthers breaking the huddle, a wing formation. Split receiver to the near side. Here's the snap. Handing the ball off once again to the running back. He takes a step, makes a cut. He's hit again just beyond the line of scrimmage, gain of maybe 1.
I think that was Sateki Wolfgram again. It looks like they may have him back on the interior.
Carry for the Panthers.
So that's going to bring up 3rd and 10 for the Panthers from their own 13-yard line.
34, Topa Sant. Ball now spotted at the original line of scrimmage. Brings up 3rd down to the Panthers.
I don't see a lot of different plays coming from Paschal, and I believe that Trinity may have something about formations. This kind of gives them an idea of what plays they can expect to see. A little bit of early movement on that one.
Whistles and flags prior to the snap. Indication by the officials.
Paschal, the first of the half.
Timeout before the penalty.
So the Panthers taking their first timeout.
It appeared the referee on the Trinity sideline had the motion, and the referee on the top of the field was getting the timeout call, and top of the field won.
So it has been times like this in the past that we would spotlight some seniors, but due to some of the game cancellations and trying to make sure that we recognize all of our seniors, we have doubled up. And so we have a little bit of free air time in between either plays or quarters, or at this point, timeout. But we can at times go ahead and look into the future, knowing that this looks like a game that we will have in hand. And from this, we'll secure another district championship.
I was thinking about it. Trinity's probably in a pretty select group of 6A schools. They have been in the playoffs every year in the 21st century.
Very exciting.
Good job on the edge by the good job on the edge by the Paschal offensive line. They totally collapsed the Trinity defense, gave the quarterback all sorts of time, and he threw a strike right to Trinity that bounced off a chest.
So the Panther play-action pass falls incomplete, in and out of the hands of the Trojan defensive back. And that'll bring up a 4th and 10 for the Panthers. Their special teams coming on. This quarter, their punt team will have the wind behind them.
Be fun to see Sateki catch one of these and see what he can do with it. He's a pretty gifted runner.
So here's the snap. The punt is away. The ball is fielded by the Trojan special teams, and he's to the 45 and finally tripped up just inside the 45, and there's flags on the play.
I think we're going to have a block in the back, it appears. with the wind the way it is, him catching that ball, that probably saved about 30 yards of field position.
First down.
So the penalty is assessed to the Trojans' special teams. That'll be the second penalty of the half for the Trojans. So the officials will mark off 10 yards. And the Trojans will take over their 6th possession of play here in the first half. 1st and 10 Trojans from their own 49-yard line. Trojans breaking the huddle, taking the snap, pitching it out to the running back, number 22. Advances the ball down across the 40, down to the Panther 37-yard line, and that'll be sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down.
It's one of our patented strong side counter plays. One thing I see with Deontay that I really appreciate, his ball security is great. Turning the ball over, that just leads to sloppy, so he's doing a really nice job of holding on to the football.
Trojans breaking the huddle. They're in an I formation. Number 12, Cade Bartholomew, quarterbacking for the Trojans. And he hands the ball off to his running back, who then ends up head over heels on a somersault, landing on his feet, continues the play, Jay.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Keyshawn at one point in his life was a gymnast, and I believe he just showed us why. That was pretty impressive.
Gain of 5 on that gymnastic play here by the Trojans. Very entertaining.
And the fact that he had the wherewithal to know he wasn't down. There's a lot of guys who'll just quit on that play. That was really good.
2nd and 5, Trojans, I formation. Bartholomew takes a snap, hands the ball off to his running back. He's going to advance it down and across the 25 before being brought down by the Panther secondary, and flags on the turf.
Barry, number 30, the ball carrier. Tripped up by number 8, Grant Jackson. There's a penalty.
Indication by our officiating crew.
After the play, unsportsmanlike, number 82 of the defense. Half the distance, automatic
Post-play penalty. Unsportsmanlike conduct being charged to the Panthers. So that'll tack on another 15 yards and advance the ball down inside the 15, down to the Panther 12. And that'll be sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down.
Damon, I don't know if you're like me, but every time you see that flag post-play, I kind of hold my breath. Traditionally, it's not always gone our way. But these last 3 or 4 weeks, Trinity's done a really nice job of avoiding.
So the Trojans take the snap, I formation, look to the near sideline. That pass is caught by the receiver. He's finally knocked out of bounds down around the 1, and another flag on this play.
Huh. This was a head scratcher.
Indication by our officiating crew, holding to be charged to the Trojan offense. So that will nullify the play, and the gain will mark off 10 yards here on the penalty. Respot the ball at the Panther 21 and repeat, first down.
Damon, I don't know how to say this politely, but there are times when a player so physically dominates his opponent that the referee has to assume that a penalty needs to be called. And I believe that just happened.
So here we are. First down for the Trojans. Bartholomew under center, takes a snap, hands it off to his running back, and he's met near the line of scrimmage by the Panther defense. Gain of 1 on the play. So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 18 for the Trojans from the Panther 20-yard line.
See trips to the top. The screen to the top looks like it's available.
Trojans take the snap, drop back, look across
Good
the middle,
ball.
and that ball is caught. And number 4 is in for a Trojan touchdown.
I believe that's Cade Bartholomew's first touchdown pass as a varsity football player. That's a well-thrown ball. And I'm glad to see that Trinity's not afraid to throw. A lot of times when you're beating an opponent, you just kind of, your offense shrinks, and you don't want to do anything that looks like you're trying to rub it in, but Trinity needs to work on some of this. That was really well executed.
So the special teams out on the turf. There's the snap, the hold, and the kick. And the point after attempt is good by Hernandez.
Wow, that was different. If y'all are watching at home, what happened is they had somebody offsides and he had a free run through, and instead of trying to block the kick, he ran by, and Trinity's kicker just stopped. Alex just kind of came to a stop and one-stepped it. Don't know that I've ever seen that before.
The extra point is good.
So the offsides penalty against the Panthers is declined by the Trojans. The point attempt is good, and so we extend the lead here at Pennington Field. The Trojans over the Panthers by 35.
Did you see the new band uniforms? If you check up on the scoreboard every once in a while, they're showing a shot of the band. They look pretty good.
I have not, but I will try to do so. And if I don't get a close-up, we'll talk to our producer and maybe see if we can get a close-up during halftime as they come out for their halftime performance.
It's a good look.
So the special teams taking the field, teeing the ball up for the Trojans is their kicker, number 91, Kelson Cotner.
14, William Marshall, along with 24, Mackay Nicholson.
So 6 possessions for the Trojans. The Trojans fumble once, score on 5. There's the whistle. And Cotner's kick. That ball sails to the far side. And it's fair caught by the backfield. So the Panthers will take over on their 6th possession of play here in the first half. It'll be 1st and 10 Panthers from their own 25-yard line.
I didn't see that fair catch either, Damon. You didn't either.
I didn't either. I mean, I didn't see it. And I looked for it that time and still didn't see it. So the Panthers break their huddle, take the snap, hand it off once again to the running back, this time over the right side of their offensive line. Be a gain of 2 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 8 for the Panthers from their own 27-yard line.
You know, that's Tommy Bell, the sophomore for Paschal, running the ball. I'd really like to see him behind a line that's similar to Trinity's. He's really got some shake to him. He's made several guys miss unblocked. Looks like he's got some talent.
So the Panthers, again, take the snap. This time they look to the near sideline. On the pass, it is caught, and the ball advanced by the Panthers down to their own 33-yard line.
Solid tackle by Jalen Bell in at one of the safety spots right now.
So that'll be a gain of 6 on the play for the Panthers. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 from the Panther 33.
A lot of new faces out there for Trinity right now, defensively.
So the Panthers in a 2-back set take the snap, hand the ball off to the running back. He's going to advance the ball up near the 35-yard line, and initial indications by our officiating crew, that'll be sufficient enough yardage for a Panther first down.
96, Ricky Lillahea. It's ball spotted at the Panther 35. It's 1st and 10 for the Panthers.
So 1st and 10 Panthers from their own 35, again breaking the huddle. 2-back set, twins to the near side, single receiver to the far. Quarterback taking the snap, handing the ball off to his running back. He's going to gain 5 on the play, advancing the ball out to the Panther 40-yard line. That'll bring up a 2nd and 5 for the Panthers.
21, Tommy Bell. Brought down by 25, Daniel Munoz. It's a gain of 5 on the play, 2nd down.
So the Panthers quickly to the line of scrimmage. taking signals from their offensive coaching staff from the sideline. Here's the snap. Dump pass to the near side, and he's drug out of bounds by the Trojan defensive back. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play. That's going to bring up 3rd and 3 for the Panthers from their own 42-yard line.
David, that was Demarion Green on that, Dean on that tackle. Remember earlier this year he was playing some tailback. They got him over to playing a little bit of cornerback right now. Too good an athlete to keep off the field for long.
Panthers taking the snap, handing the ball off again to the running back. Up into the center of that defensive line, and then bounces to the near sideline, advancing the ball across the midfield stripe and deeper into Trojan territory.
Again, behind a different offensive line, I'd really, really like to see what he could do. That was a really nice run.
So that'll be sufficient enough yardage for another Panther first down. Officials mark the football. It'll be 1st and 10 Panthers from the Trojan 42-yard line. Panthers in shotgun formation take the snap again, give it to their back, advances the ball across the 40 down to the Trojan 39-yard line. Gain of 3 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 7 for the Panthers from the Trojan 39.
Gain of 3 on the play, 2nd down.
I don't know that there is a senior in the front 7 right now for Trinity. I think they're all underclassmen. Just trying to scan the numbers and see. At least 2 sophomores on the field right now.
So good opportunity for our chain gain and others to come into the game, get a little work here. Here's the snap by the Panthers. The quarterback drops back, looks across the middle. The ball's tipped by the defensive back of the Trojans. Caught, and the reception is good by the Panthers.
Cody Kirkle, number 88, hauling in the pass.
That's a really nice catch by 88 for the Paschal, Cody Cripple. It appears that Richard Reyes got a hand on it as he was crossing. Just not enough to get it on the ground. I think he thinks he should have caught it.
So sufficient enough yardage for a Panther first down. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Trojan, a 29-yard line. Here's the snap by the Panthers. Again, handing the ball off to their running back over the right side of the line. Advances the ball up to the Trojan 27. Be a gain of about 2 on the play. That'll bring up a 2nd and 8 for the Panthers. From the Trojan 27.
Call it a gain of 2 on the play, 2nd down.
Two-back set for the Panthers. Single receiver to the near side. Twins to the far. Whistles prior to the snap. Indication by our officiating crew.
Timeout. Trinity.
Timeout being
First
charged to the Trinity defense.
You know, Paschal's getting a little momentum here. They do get the ball to start the second half. We've seen some strange things happen in this district so far as comebacks and things like that. Now, not that I would expect one, but for Trinity, they're not going to go back with the starters. They're not going to let them get that cold and then try to bring them back on in an emergency situation. So this is kind of a big series for Trinity to keep them out of the end zone. Don't let them have that 2-for opportunity coming out the second half.
And honestly, good work for our 2 deep to come into the game. Get a little practice, a little team concept going.
Yep.
In case they will be needed in the playoff run at any point in time for relief for the first stringers. So our timeout concludes. Both teams take the field. The Panthers 2-back set, split receiver to the near side. There's the snap. He's looking across the middle, looking deep, and the ball sails incomplete and out of the back of the end zone for the Panthers.
Colts pass intended for 14, William Marshall.
So that'll bring up a 3rd and 8 for the Panthers from the Trojan 27-yard line.
It makes you scratch your head as a coach. Paschal's been having some success with the short stuff and the intermediate routes, stuff back inside in the curl zone, and then they decide to throw deep. I don't always understand what we think, because I used to do that same kind of silliness. That's a great ball for a touchdown. What a pass.
So the Panthers taking the snap, drops back, looks to the near side, and that ball is caught by their receiver, number 14, and the Panthers are on the board.
William Marshall, number 14, hauling in the pass from his quarterback, Connor Cole, for the Panther touchdown.
You won't find a much better pass than that in any team anywhere. That was a great throw.
Right on the money,
Right.
just out of the reach of the Trojan defensive back.
So the extra point by number 1, Hunter Bertelson, is
So the
good.
Panthers special
2 minutes,
teams
3 seconds for
with the
Panthers.
attempt, the ball is up,
Trojans,
and it's
35.
good.
Panthers,
So with
7.
just a little over 2 minutes remaining in the first half of play, the Trojans leading the Panthers 35-7.
See if Trinity can put together a quick drive right here.
That Panthers scoring drive covered
This will be a good opportunity for the offense with their two-minute drill.
Capped off by the touchdown pass from Cole to Marshall.
I don't know which skill group they'll use with this. I feel real comfortable with Cade throwing the ball. They've kept their number 1 receivers kind of in the rotation, so those guys aren't cold yet. Gary's been in some. It'll be interesting to see who they have in on this.
Number 1 teeing the ball up for the Panthers special teams. Back deep for the Trojans. Number 5, Javius Lyons. Again, the Panthers with the wind at their back, the wind blowing out of the west, right to left on your screen. Here's the kick. And the ball, along with help from that wind, flying through and out of the back of the end zone. And so the Trojans will take over their 7th possession of play here in the first half. It'll be 1st and 10, Trojans from their own 25-yard line.
The Trojans will take possession. This is number 7 of the first half.
I see Deontay in there at the tailback right now. It's like the second group of offensive lines in.
So 2 minutes and 3 seconds on the clock. 1st and 10, Trojans from their own 25. Here's the snap by Bartholomew. He hands the ball off to his running back. He advances the ball out and across the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 16 on the play for the Trojans. And that'll be sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down.
41-yard line. It's 1st and 10.
Got Demarion Dean in at the tailback. Remember, Demarion's one of the fastest kids in the program. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a toss sweep on this one.
So on first down, Bartholomew under center takes a snap, hands the ball off, pitches it out to his running back, and he's hit near the line of scrimmage, finally wrapped up by that Panther defense. Be a gain of 2 on the play, so that's going to bring up a 2nd and 8 for the Trojans from their own 43-yard line.
Mary Dean, 23, taking the handoff for the Trojans, brought down by 12, Joseph Martin, along with 22.
I believe they had one more than we did on that alignment.
The gain of 2 on the play.
And nice job of tackling by the strong safety number 22 for them, Braden Noel.
So under a minute to play here in the first half at the pen. 2nd and 8, Trojans from their own 43. Cade Bartholomew under center. Takes a snap, hands it off to his running back. Nice footwork by the back, advancing the ball out near the Trojan 45-yard line. Gain of 2 on the play.
Number 30, the ball carrier.
That's going to bring up a
Down by a host of Panther defenders.
3rd and
Led
6 for the
for
Trojans
64,
from their own
Evan
45.
Leckie.
Nice balance.
Official timeout on the turf for player injury.
We have officials timeout on the field.
So the athletic trainers for the Trojans on the turf with 22 seconds remaining in the first half of play. I believe a cramp maybe there, Jay.
Possibly.
Walking a little tender.
I think if either you or I had made a cut that quick, we'd had more than a cramp. Might have been a broken hip.
Yeah, and probably some discoloration, depending on the location, if you want to know the truth. This cool weather, I don't know.
I'd have fallen over. I don't know about you. I'd have just ended up in a puddle.
Day clock, 12 seconds.
So the officials request that the game clock be reset to 12 seconds here at Pennington Field. So the Trojans on a 3rd and 6 from their own 45. The referee winds the clock. The clock begins to tick. Bartholomew under center takes the snap. Hands the ball off to his running back. He bounces out across the midfield stripe, finally brought down, and that will end our first half of play here at Pennington Field with the Trojans leading the Panthers 35-7. We encourage all of our football fans to stay tuned for our halftime performances. Coming up, the award-winning Trinity Trojans, followed by the Trinity High School Marching Band. We'll be back in 20 minutes.
Folks, as a reminder, during halftime, all spectators are required to wear their base coverings and maintain at least 6 feet of social distance while visiting the restrooms and concession stands. ladies and gentlemen, tonight we begin our halftime entertainment with a special performance by the Trinity JV Stars team. I invite you to sit back and enjoy their palm routine to the Maroon 5 Smash Moves Like Jagger. The Trinity JV Stars drill team. The Stars are under the direction of Miss Amber Santori. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for your continued halftime entertainment, the Hearst U.S. Bedford Independent School District proudly presents the Sweethearts of Trinity High School, the award-winning Trojans. The Trojans Teachers of the Week are Ms. Susan Alcala and Coach Rodney Bartholomew. Thank you both for being outstanding teachers. The 2020-2021 Trojan dance officers are Senior Sergeant Anaya Evans, Junior Lieutenant Grace Grimes, Junior Lieutenant Chloe Jones, First Lieutenant Emily Espinoza, and your Captain Miss April Borg. The 2020-2021 social officers are Social President Isabella Hernandez, Social Vice President Bea Carden, Secretary Taryn Walker, and Historian Miliani Lara. Spirit Girl of the Week is Taylor English, and Troyan of the Week is Destiny Kennedy. Officer of the Week is Taryn Walker. At this time, we direct your attention to the center of the field to recognize the senior members of the Sweethearts of Trinity High School, the Trojans drill team graduating class of 2021. Shalise Alexander is escorted by Terry Flannery. She's a first-year rookie who plans to attend Hardin Simmons University for music production upon graduation. Sophia Yavarino. She's escorted by Norma Sotelo and Ramon Yavarino. She is a second-year veteran who plans to attend the University of Texas at Arlington and major in political science, then attend law school to pursue a career as an immigration lawyer. Desiree Paredes. She's escorted by Jose Torres and Nancy Medelis. She's a second-year veteran who plans to attend Texas A&M upon graduation. Destiny Kennedy. She's escorted by Dr. Samuel Bonsu. She's a second-year veteran who plans to go to college and major in hospitality management and minor in real estate. Isabella Castillo. She's escorted by Jody and Sarah Castillo. She's a second-year veteran who plans to attend Texas A&M University to study biochemistry in hopes of attending medical school to pursue a career as a surgeon. Madison Francis. She's escorted by Eric and Monica Francis. She's a 3-year veteran who plans on attending Hardin Simmons University to study music production. Daisy Zavala, escorted by Alita Mistician and Juan Zavala. She's a 3-year veteran who plans to attend Sam Houston State University or Texas A&M and major in forensic science. Meliana Lara. She's escorted by Baltazar Lara and Grace Torres. She's a 3rd-year veteran and a team historian. Meliana plans to attend community college initially and transfer to an accredited university and continue on to medical school to become a pediatric oncologist. Taryn Walker. She's escorted by Terry Walker and Tina Price. She's a 3rd-year veteran and the team secretary. Taryn plans to attend the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York to major in fashion business management. Anaya Evans is escorted by Antonio and Regina Evans. She's a 3rd-year veteran and a senior sergeant. Upon graduating, Anaya plans to attend Prairie View A&M to study nursing in pursuit of her dream of becoming an OBGYN nurse practitioner. And finally, Miss April Board, who is unable to attend this evening. She's the daughter of Kenan and Rose Board. April is a 3rd-year veteran and the varsity captain. April plans to attend UT in Arlington or University of Texas, North Texas, or UT Austin to study performing arts. Ladies and gentlemen, the Trojans senior class of 2021. Congratulations to our outgoing seniors, Coach Hawkins and Coach Santori. Wish you all the best in your future endeavors and encourage you to continue pursuing and achieving excellence in all that you do as you step into the next chapter of your young adulthood. Remember, once a Trojan, always a Trojan. We now invite you to sit back and enjoy as the Trojans and Stars continue the beloved tradition of the Bob and Sue dance as they bring in the holiday season with a special dance to the tune, All I Want for Christmas Is You. the award-winning Trinity Trojans and Stars. The Trojans are under the direction of Miss Ekina Hawkins. The Trojans Booster Club president is Miss Gina English. The Trojans would like to thank their platinum sponsors, Cherry Blow Dry, Bar of Arlington, DIF Logistics Company, HTO of Bedford, the Grant Group, Jason Ridley Nationwide Insurance, Dave & Buster's, T-Yoga, Level 1 Scrubs, and Southwest Assurance Group. Special thanks to the Troy Men managers. And now, ladies and gentlemen, entering the field for your continued halftime enjoyment, please welcome the Trinity Trojan Marching Band. The Trinity Trojan Marching Band is under the direction of Mario Casanova, Daniel Cuevas, and Manny Flores. Color guard instructor is Austin Fort. Percussion instructor is Matt Kosick. Sound technician is Jay Hogue. Drum majors for the band are Carola Crespo, Alex Eisenberg, Sophie Hawkins, and Carter Powell. Section of the week is the senior band parents. Band student of the week is Alex Eisenberg. For your enjoyment tonight, the band will perform their spirit show. You may notice a different look for the Trinity Marching Band. They are wearing their brand new uniforms for the first time this year. Also, it is a very special night as we recognize and celebrate the incredible Trinity Band seniors. The seniors are wearing a white plume. See how many seniors you can find. And now let's get ready to clap together to the Hey Song. Next up is Seven Nation Army.
Welcome back, football fans, to halftime here at Pennington Field. The Trinity Trojan High School Marching Band playing pop tunes here during our halftime entertainment. And we wanted to break in at this point in time with about 7 minutes now remaining here in the half prior to kickoff in the second half to do a few things to bring you up to date if you're just joining us on our broadcast. And let's do so. I want to turn it over to Coach Jay Fitch. And Coach Fitch will talk to us about some first half statistics.
Okay, looking at the first half. First downs, Paschal had 6. Trinity had 16. Rushing yards, Paschal ran the ball 18 times for 46 yards. Trinity again over 10 yards a carry with 22 carries, 242 yards. Passing, Paschal was 6 for 13 for 49 yards and a touchdown. Trinity 3 for 3 for 36 yards. I think they've been over 90% or right around that for the last 3 or 4 weeks. Total yards, Paschal has 95 and Trinity has 278. Interesting stat, only 1 penalty for 15 yards for Paschal, only 2 penalties for 14 yards for Trinity. Individual rushing, leading Paschal, number 21, Tommy Bell, sophomore, has 13 carries for 63 yards. And if you want to consider that, they have 49 total, so everybody else is kind of going backwards. And then for Trinity, Ollie Gordon had 3 carries for 102 yards and a touchdown. Gary Maddox had 7 carries for 66 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Deontay Hicks has had 4 carries for 48 yards. Receiving the ball, Max Basiliqua has 2 catches for 28, and Jaquan Black has 1 for 8. 11 different Trojans have touched the ball so far tonight.
Wow.
So they're spreading it around pretty well.
Nice. And so starting with the Panthers, I'm showing on my stat sheet the Panthers had 6 possessions and 1 touchdown, and the others either turnover on downs, a fumble, and a punt during their possessions. And then for the Trojans, kind of a continuation of the last couple of weeks we're seeing here in this game. They had 7 possessions here in the first half, and 5 of the possessions were all touchdowns, and they had 1 possession that ended in a fumble. So crisp on both sides of the ball and special teams, looking real good here during this final district game of this season, and great preparation for marching in to first round of the playoffs next week.
You know, there's a couple of weeks in a row that Trinity's offense has put the ball on the ground, and had a coach tell us, I don't know, some guy named Steve Lineweaver told us that the football is the program, and protecting the program is the most important thing that you can do, and that's something that just needs to be cleaned up as we move into the playoffs. Those turnovers and giving away either short field or giving away opportunities to score, it'll come back to bite you.
Right.
So that's something that needs to be corrected. But as we look towards the playoffs, it's kind of a mess over there in the Keller South Lake District, seeing what's going to happen. They've been kind of attacked by COVID, and they've got games that they've had to put off, and they're trying to reschedule. I believe Timber Creek, who is a possible and I hope probable opponent for Trinity, has played 4 games in the past 23 days, finishing up on Tuesday.
Goodness.
It's been a mess. So Trinity won't know exactly who they play until the game Monday night against for Keller and Timber Creek. So anybody that's wanting to kind of see what's going on, technically, I believe Keller would have to beat Timber Creek by 14 points or more for Keller to get into the playoffs, knock Timber Creek out. If that were to happen, I believe Trinity would end up with Eaton High School out of the Northwest School District.
Okay.
If Timber Creek wins or plays close, Trinity should open up with Timber Creek. Now, I don't know all the COVID tiebreaker rules. That's based on normalcy. There's been nothing normal about this year.
No, not at all. Not at all. There sure hasn't. And so we'll give you some more details as we continue through the second half and post-game in relation to our march into the first round of playoffs. But right now, let's take a look at our Trinity Sports Network week at a glance. This begins with our girls basketball program. Girls basketball teams will tip off in a non-district game by traveling to Arlington next Tuesday on the 8th to compete against the Vikings of Lamar High. JV will tip off at 5:30 and the varsity at 7. And then the girls basketball team will travel back to Arlington on the 11th to compete against the Cougars of Seguin High School. Again, game times JV tipping off at 5:30 and the varsity at 7. If you enjoy gymnastics, the Trinity gymnastics teams will host Boswell High in non-district action Friday evening at 6 p.m. That will be done in the FEW Gymnastics Complex. And then in men's basketball, the men's basketball teams will tip off in a non-district game by traveling to Plano on Tuesday the 8th to compete against the Panthers of Plano East. Game times, JV at 5:30 and the varsity at 7. And then the men's sophomore team, the basketball team will travel on Wednesday the 9th to Coppell to tip off against the Cowboys. Game time for the sophomore game will be 5:30. And then in men's soccer, the men's soccer teams kick off non-district action next Friday, the 11th, as they host the Warriors of South Grand Prairie High on Trinity's main field. Kickoff for the JV will be at 6 p.m., followed by the varsity at 7:30. And so that concludes our Trinity Sports Network week at a glance. So whether it be basketball, gymnastics, or soccer, catch your favorite Trinity team next week at those times.
I would expect as we go through the second half to continue to see some of the backups. The second team offense has been in. We call that group lovingly the chain gang. We've seen a lot of the second team defense, and that group is known as the Storm. Those guys will probably start the second half and give themselves a chance to get acclimated to coming out of the locker room, stepping on the field, and playing immediately. They don't do that very often. A lot of times they are, as the series have gone on, and have watched a little bit, so we'll see how they react. A lot of young kids on that second group that will be starters, contributors big time next year. So it'll be interesting to see how we respond as we start the second half.
And so in preparation, the Panthers of Paschal High break through their banner and take their appropriate place on their adjacent sideline on the Visitors side. And as we peer to the turf, the Trojans taking the field of play in preparation for kickoff to our second half. If you're just joining us, we want to welcome you to Trinity Sports Network. On behalf of our producer and production team, welcome to Pennington Field for the second half of play featuring the Panthers of Paschal High and your Trojans of Trinity High. The Panthers won the toss and elected to receive at the start of the second half. So the Trojans special teams will take the field, teeing up the football momentarily. For the Trojans will be their kicker, number 91, Kelson Cotner. And once again, Jay, a strange decision at the start, just prior to the start of the game, during the coin toss, when the Panthers elected to defer. That's not a surprise, but to kick off into the wind.
And really didn't understand what they were trying to do. You really would have thought they had some kind of really quick high pooch to try to get the ball to blow back to them. They did pooch it, but it was a typical pooch that we see a lot. Maybe put the ball on the ground, try to squib it into the wind, see just so they could get a crazy bounce. But it was strange, and it worked out for them in the second half, and they had that touchdown drive. They were throwing with the wind, so it benefited their quarterback,
right,
but not typical what you see.
No, and so the reason I bring that up here is because to start the second half, our special team takes to the turf. We're teeing up the football with the wind to our back. and they take their first offensive possession in the second half with the wind blowing in their face.
Right.
So the official holding play looks like he's allowing.
Well, I think there's some confusion in the Trinity band. I think they don't realize it's December. They may think it's March.
So awaiting them to exit the end zone here on the east end of the turf. And our referee finally gives way. Whistle is blown. Cotner. Kickoff is up and away. And I did see that one.
Okay, I missed it.
But it was a very quick hand straight up and down, very fast.
Well, technically, we always see the guys wave their hand back and forth. It just takes the hand crossing your face. That's all it takes.
Okay.
And they've been coached well because that's all they're doing, and it's hard to see. I'm just waiting for them to not do it and do the UNT versus Arkansas thing where the guy just caught the ball and stood there a second and took off up the sidelines.
Yes. Be interesting to see if we see that here before the end of this game. So the Panthers break their offensive huddle. First possession of play, 1st and 10 from their own 25. They take the snap, hand the ball off to the running back, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage by that Trojan defensive front. Gain of 2 on the play for the Panthers. That'll bring up a 2nd and 8.
Are we surprised that they ran up the middle on first down? I think that's been every series. They've had some success putting it up in the air on the outsides. Let's see if they go to that on second.
Gain of 2 on the play, 2nd down.
So the Panthers.
They shifted into their pistol on this one.
Pistol formation here on 2nd down. The quarterback takes the snap, looks out to the far side on the dump pass. That pass is caught, and it's advanced across the 35-yard line. That'll be sufficient enough yardage for a Panther 1st down.
There was a miscommunication on that. If the Panthers could have caught that ball and turned up the sideline, there really wasn't anybody. They kind of ran himself out of bounds. But I think some of the secondary is in man, somebody's in zone, and they opened up a spot in the flat.
So the Panthers in a trip look, take the snap, hand the ball off to the running back.
Telling you.
Over the right side of the line, advances the ball across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Be a gain of 5 on the play. That'll bring up a 2nd and 5 for the Panthers.
Gain of 5 on the play, 2nd down.
Panthers in a 2-back set, twins to the far side. Single split receiver to the near side. Here's the snap. The quarterback again handing the ball off to his running back, and he'll be hit behind the line of scrimmage, and it'll be a loss of almost 3 on the play for the Panthers.
As Richard Reyes, he's made plays a lot when he's got his opportunities. He gets a run through there and gets a tackle in the backfield. Nice job.
So it's going to be a 3rd and 7 for the Panthers from their own 40-yard line. Something of a trip set to the near side. Quarterback takes the snap, looking to the near side. The pass is overthrown and incomplete for the Panthers, and that'll bring up a 4th and 7 for the Panther 40-yard line.
That's good coverage by Jalen Bell. He closed on that, kind of squeezed the receiver where he couldn't make a play on the ball. Good pressure to pull the quarterback up and kind of force him to be under a little discomfort. Punting into the wind. And the wind seems to have picked up a little bit, it appears, start the second half.
I'm assuming we must have had an agreement at halftime, Jay. That was an incomplete pass, and the clock is still ticking.
Not surprised. Paschal's not real deep. Not a ton of kids over there. I think I counted 42 on the roster. They've got some guys going both ways.
So it looks like the clock will stop for change of possession. The Panthers punt the ball away. It takes a Panther bounce down by their special teams. So this will bring up the Trojans' first possession of play here in the second half. 1st and 10 Trojans from their own 26-yard line. Here's the snap. Cade Bartholomew, number 12, quarterbacking, takes and hands the ball off to his running back over the left side. Gain of 2 on the play. That'll bring up a 2nd and 8 for the Trojans from their own 28-yard line.
Paschal's really selling out to the run. I really like to see Trinity go ahead and pull one, run some of their play action, give Cade a chance to throw the ball, get a ball in a different receiver's hands.
High formation by the Trojans. Bartholomew under center. Twins to the far side, takes the snap, hands the ball off to his back. He's to the 35, advancing the ball out to the 40-yard line, and he's finally drugged down by the Panther defensive backfield.
At the point of attack, Save Totai, number 64, physically crushed the poor defensive tackle that was in front of him, and then just to make matters worse, jumped on him. So that's a 400-pound body slam for that poor young man.
So that'll be sufficient enough yardage for a Trojan first down. They break the offensive huddle. Again, I formation. Twins to the far side. Bartholomew takes the snap, hands the ball off to his back over the right side, and he'll advance the ball out near the 45. It'll be a gain of 3 on the play, bringing up a 2nd and 7 for the Trojans from their own 44-yard line.
Gain of 3 on the play. 2nd down.
So the Trojans break their offensive huddle, split receivers each way, I formation. Bartholomew under center. Again, takes the snap, hands the ball off to his running back. He's to the midfield stripe, across the 45 and deeper into Panther territory.
Hicks again, the ball carrier.
It looks like they're going to keep the clock running as much as they possibly can. Something kind of exciting. The quick side of the Trinity offensive line right now is Misi Maluia, new name for me, and also Seth Moala, both sophomores. So we got some sophomores over here getting some experience. Both of them look really athletic. That's exciting to see for next year.
Well, that was sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down. And on first down, they take the snap, hand it to the back over the left side of the line. He advances the ball down to the Panther 35-yard line. Be a gain of 7 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 3 for the Trojans.
Finally brought down by number 80, Matthew Transal. Ball spotted at the Panther 35, 2nd down.
Trojans breaking the offensive huddle. High formation. Twins to the far side. Bartholomew takes a snap.
Great push on the offensive line.
Hands it off to his running back. What great footwork. And he will be brought down at the Panther 31-yard line, and that be a sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down.
The offensive line got 4 yards of push on that. Just a great job knocking them straight off the ball.
So 1st and 10 Trojans from the Panther 31-yard line. They break the offensive huddle. Twins to the far side. Single back. Number 7 quarterbacking. Drops the rock. It bounces off the turf. He picks it up. He's down to the 20, the 15, and he'll finally be pulled down by the Panther defensive backfield near the Panther 10-yard line.
That's Jaquan Black on the carry. He is a really good basketball player. I don't know. It is December, you know. It's kind of basketball season, so he's dribbling a little bit. But for him to keep the concentration to go ahead and get that ball up and get back into play, that's good. No panic on that. That was really nice. See if we run it again.
So the Trojans break the huddle.
Same play. Oh, yeah.
This time number 7 calls his own number, and he advances the ball inside the 5. Looks like they will mark it at the 4-yard line.
It's really exciting to see. The more snaps he gets, the more comfortable he gets. He's an outstanding talent. Probably would like to see him work on his speed a little bit in the offseason, just get a little bit quicker, but he's got great length. It's going to give Trinity some options as to how they're going to use him next year.
Same set by the Trojans. They take the snap. Number 7. I think he finally calls his own number on the quarterback keeper. Looks like he'll advance the ball down inside the 1-yard line.
It's enough for a first.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be a sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down.
What you had there was a running back that hadn't been in the game a lot that kind of wanted to score a touchdown. And so he was going to take it.
So it's going to be 1st and goal, Trojans, from the Panther 1-yard line. Here's the snap by the Trojans. Number 7 calls his own number. He's going to be hit behind the line of scrimmage by the Panther D. Going to be a loss of 1. That's going to bring up a 2nd and goal for the Trojans from the 2-yard line.
Black again on the keeper. Brought number 24, McCon Nicholson. A loss of 1 on the play. Back to the 2. Brings up 2nd down.
They've run a similar play. Paschal took a chance that they were going to run it again and brought somebody off the edge. Trinity didn't have enough people. Nobody in the backfield. Quarterback just up the middle on power. Good job.
And number 7, Black, calling his own number and in for a Trojan touchdown.
Quarterback number 7, Jaquan Black. On the quarterback keeper. 2 yards into the end zone for the Trojan touchdown.
It's a good series by Jaquan. He ran the team really, really well. That was a nice job. Again, only a junior, so another athlete that'll be back next year.
Whistles by our officiating crew on the turf. Trying to get the football set, I believe, for the attempt. So special teams on the field for the point after. Here's the snap and the hold by Bartholomew. Hernandez's kick is up, and it's good. So with 3:01 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
You know, it's kind of a difficult thing for the special teams coach. You've got a bunch of guys that they're out for the rest of the game. You know, they're not going to go back in. But you don't have a whole lot of depth when you go to the extra point. So screaming and yelling and trying to get those kids that have been out for quite a while back up and moving and out on the field. And sometimes you'll see some silly penalties on that. Trinity handled that pretty well. But they've been automatic so far on that extra point. Really, really nice job all year so far by Alex Hernandez, senior.
So the Trojans extend their lead by 35 here at Pennington Field. With just a little over 3 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter, the Trojans 42, the Panthers 7. Teeing up the football for the Trojan special teams, their kicker, number 91, Kelson Cotner.
Set to kick for the Trojans, number 91, Kelson Cotner.
The Trojans went about 10 plays that possession. The clock ticking away, a little over 6 minutes. And the Trojans put another 7 on the board. So Cotner's kickoff fielded by the Panthers.
Brought out to the 25-yard line. The Panthers will take possession, 1st and 10.
So this will bring up the Panthers' 2nd possession of play.
Second half.
Here in the 2nd half, it'll be 1st and 10 Panthers from their own 25-yard line. Panthers breaking their offensive huddle. Trips look to the near side. Shotgun formation. Quarterback takes the snap, hands it off to his running back, and he's hit behind the line of scrimmage by that Trojan defensive front. Be a loss of 2 on the play for the Panthers. That'll bring up a 2nd and 12 from their own 23.
They put in their senior running back, maybe possibly get him some snaps his last game as a Paschal Panther.
Braden Noel, 22, the ball carrier, brought down by 97. Sebastian Militao.
Once again, Panthers shotgun formation, trips to the near side. Here's the snap. He drops back, looking to the far side, finding his receiver, and the pass will be pulled in at the Panther 31-yard line. Be a gain of 6 on the play. That'll bring up a 3rd and 4 for the Panthers.
Depending on the play for the Trojans, number 20, Eddie McGee.
The Panthers.
Good ball. Good tackle.
Take the snap, roll to the near side, look down the field, find their receiver, number 88. That'll be sufficient enough yardage for a Panther first down.
But again, that was Demarion Dean, the cornerback, physical on the tackle. Sometimes you worry when you move an offensive player over to the defensive side just how physical he'll be. Pretty physical on that one.
So the officials mark the football to be 1st and 10, Panthers from their own 41-yard line. Looking like a pistol set there from the Panthers, taking the snap, rolling to the far side. That pass is going to be overthrown and out of bounds. Falling incomplete for the Panthers, so with under a minute remaining in the third quarter, that's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 from the Panther 41. Two-back set for the Panthers, twins to the near side. Single split receiver to the far side. Quarterback takes a snap, looks to the near side, finds number 88, who pulls in the pass, advancing the ball. Gain of 5.
Brought down by 23, Demarion Dean.
Call it 6 on the play for the Panthers. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 4 from the Panther 47-yard line.
Ball spotted to the Panther 47. It's 3rd down.
Looks like they're going to take the quarter.
So the clock, the few seconds ticking off the clock here at Pennington Field, and that whistle and signal by our officiating crew will be the end of the third quarter of play here at Pennington Field, with the Trojans leading the Panthers 42-7. During this quarter change, let's take an opportunity here in the second half to do a second half offensive senior spotlight. This spotlight is sponsored by our golf team, coached by Coach Barry Fuller. This offensive spotlight features Donovan Brown, number 29, a 5 foot 10-inch, 176-pound running back. When I interviewed Donovan regarding his plans following the season and graduation this year, Donovan said he desires to attend Michigan State University, where he would like to major in communication and then serve as a law enforcement or military police officer. So on behalf of Coach Barry Fuller and the Trojan golf team, we wish Donovan Brown the most successful of seasons and playoff runs here as the Trojans wrap up their district play, and the best luck in his future endeavors. So the Trojans return to the turf. It's going to be 3rd down for the Panthers from their own 47-yard line.
Damon, did Trinity just have one possession, offensive possession, that third quarter?
Yes, just one. The Panthers take the snap. They drop back, looking to the near side. That ball is intercepted, and it's in for a Trojan touchdown.
Oh, there was a block behind the play that got called. That's a shame.
So a flag on the play on the turf at the 21-yard line.
That's Jalen Bell on the interception.
So indication by our officiating crew. A personal foul, blindside block being charged to the Trojan defense. So that will nullify the touchdown, which is kind of a downer because that was a defensive touchdown.
That penalty could have. There was very little contact on that, and Trinity's gotten defensive takeaways before and just obliterated people and earned their penalty. I don't know if that one was well earned.
So this is going to be the Trojans' second possession here, Jay, in the second half. It's going to be 1st and 10 Trojans from the Panther 36-yard line. And it looks like we have whistles prior to the play indication here by our officiating crew. Timeout being charged to the Panther defense.
That was well blocked, too. We had a chance. Tyler Quinn had the ball. He's backup reserve running back, and he had a chance to get him a senior touchdown just then.
So the ball will be spotted at the Panther 36-yard line. That's following a personal foul penalty, illegal block by the Trojan defense. So the officials have marked it. It'll be 1st and 10, Trojans from the Panther 36.
Let's see if they come back with that power play to this side. They've got Apollo Totai in on this side, so he's going to get some push.
So they break the offensive huddle. The Trojans working out of the eye. Number 12, Cade Bartholomew, under center, takes the handoff, hands it off to his running back. He's met near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Trojans.
They ran that one to the quick side of the offensive line. I'd like to see him come one time over here behind Big Apollo, see what happens.
Trojans breaking the huddle, I formation, twins to the far side. Bartholomew dropping back, looking to the far side, finding his receiver. He's caught the ball, advances the ball across the 30, down near the 25-yard line. Official looks like he will spot that at the Panther 26, and that will be sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down.
That's Kerry Lawson on the catch. He's been doing a lot of hard work out there blocking on the edges. Good to see him get that catch, and another really good throw from Cade Bartholomew.
So the officials mark the football. 1st and 10, Trojans from the Panther 26.
Trinity's unbalanced this way. Oh, and there was a mistake on the shift.
So the Trojans hand the football off, advanced across the 25 down to the Panther 23-yard line. Gain of 3 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 7 for the Trojans from the Panther 23-yard line.
Paschal's sliding their defensive front to the unbalance for Trinity. They're really setting up the little fullback counter that we've seen before. Going back to the quick side could be a big play. I don't know if Trinity will pull that out, but it's there if they want it.
Trojans break the offensive huddle, take the snap, hand the ball off to the running back over the right side of the line, advances the ball across the 20-yard line, down to the Panther 17. Be a gain of 6 on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 1 for the Trojans from the Panther 17.
Colin Redwine, I believe, is in at fullback. Colin was an offensive lineman for a lot of his time, but Colin is a 5'8", 222-pound young man. They've got him in a position that he can block from the outside. He gets that block right there and opens it up for Tyler to get into the end zone.
So the Trojans take the snap, hand it off to their back, and he rumbles into the end zone for another Trojan touchdown. So the special teams come on. Looks like we may have a few seconds here, Jay, on our special teams here for the attempt. There's the snap, number 31 to hold. Looks like number 91, Kelson Cotner with the attempt. And that kick is up, and it's good.
That's Hector Valdez on the hold. He did a really good job just then. There's some big old bodies that come off the field on that extra point team.
Yes.
I don't know that you can knock them backwards.
No.
It would take something.
Absolutely.
Goodness me.
That is a healthy young man walking off the sidelines for the Trojans.
Well, Jalen Coverson was on that group, and Jalen Coverson is a junior offensive lineman. He's 6'1", 291 pounds, and he's 100 pounds lighter than the young man he was standing next to.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my goodness!
Yes, yes. Oh my goodness! So with 8:36 remaining to play here at Pennington Field, the Trojans extend their lead by 42.
Okay, Trinity has swapped duties. That was Cotner that was on the extra point, and now we're going to get a kickoff from Alex Hernandez. So
everybody just having a little bit of everything this evening.
Well, when I was with them and Alex was a sophomore, Alex told us he was the best kickoff kicker we had. I mean, it's one of those probably every week he tells them just how good he is. So he's going to get his opportunity right here into the wind.
Right. So Hernandez with the kickoff. That pooch kick's fielded at the 30. And it's blown dead by the officiating crew.
All of those quick fair catches may have come back to bite them on that one. They called the fair catch there and possibly an inadvertent whistle because I didn't see it. But they're going to have to play it from the spot.
But as we talked about earlier, their fair catch signal is so fast, and they do it only once, that it'd be very easy for an official to.
If the player raises his hand to signal I've got it, based on the way that they fair catch, the official is probably going to react quickly to that.
So the Panthers in a two-back set take the snap, hand the ball off to the running back, and he bounces, looks like from one defender to the next, finally brought down by the Trojans. It'll be no gain on the play for the Panthers. So that will bring up a 2nd and 10 from the Panther 34.
That running back was junior Nyankuru Rodrigue for Paschal. I just wanted to say that name. That was fun. But again, another running back that had a little bounce to his run, an underclassman, made a couple guys miss. Just couldn't quite get turned up for him.
So the Panthers, two-back set. On 2nd down, the quarterback takes the snap, looks to the near sideline. Miscommunication must be on the play. That pass falls totally incomplete for the Panthers, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 10 from the Panther 34.
I believe they've got some guys that are trying to get in the game as well. There's a senior in the slot that hasn't been out there very much. I think they may have been trying to get him the ball, and he just didn't get the play. And when you're signaling from the sideline and you're a receiver on this side trying to get the play, sometimes that's pretty tough.
So the Panthers break the huddle. Looking like a pistol set here for the Panthers.
I think they're trying to get a cheap 5 right there, and Trinity almost gifted them with it, but we're able to get back on side.
So indication by our officiating crew here at Pennington Field. Timeout being charged to the Panther offense.
You know, traditionally, Trinity's defense is wound so tight that they give up some of those offside penalties because they're trying to get off on the ball really quick. Really haven't seen that much in the last 4 weeks for sure.
No.
A lot more discipline. They've done a much better job.
Yes. Yes, and again, all the way around, I think, over the last several weeks, I think our coaching staff pleased with the play, from all aspects of the game, offensively, defensively, and special teams.
Talking to some of our coaches, they're just so excited about this group as a whole. They like each other. The kids like each other.
Right.
And 2, they're committed to the program. You know, this is an off year, and you could have a lot of weird things going on, but they say participation at practice, there are very few misses. The ones that are missed are with reason. There's just beyond their control kind of stuff. Right. And this would be a year that there are some times that we'd be having to call a lot of kids to try to get them up there, and this group is not that group. And that leads to a lot of success we've had. Again, not a lot of sloppy. And when you got a bunch of kids that are committed to the program, they're willing to be there, they're going to listen to the coaches and do what they're asked, a lot of that silliness, the sloppiness, the bad plays kind of go away. And we've seen that this year. So great job by the coaches, but again, great job by the kids.
So we resume play here at Pennington Field. 3rd and 10, Panthers from their own 34-yard line. The quarterback taking the snap, drops back, rolls to the near side, looks across the middle of the field for his receiver, and that pass is in and out of the hands, falling incomplete for the Panthers.
Again, really good pressure off the edge from Richard Reyes. Kind of circled off the edge, pulled the quarterback up, made him throw the ball. Nice hit by safety Daniel Munoz. Very physical back there at the safety spot.
So the special teams come on for both teams. The Panthers to punt with the wind at their back. The Trojans field the ball at their own 25-yard line, and they will be brought down inside the 25, where they will start their third possession of play here in the second half.
I believe that was sophomore Nasir Allah on that catch on the punt return. They're very high on him as an outside receiver, but that, you know, you go out there in a game, you've not caught many punts during the season, to just go out there kind of cold and make that play on a punt that's over his head a little bit, wind blowing into him, so it's going to carry a little bit more. He looked really smooth. Showed a lot of gumption there for a young one.
So the Trojans break the huddle, split receivers I formation. Number 12, Bartholomew under center, takes a snap, hands it off to his running back, and he advances the ball out near the Panther 40-yard line before being brought down by the defensive backfield.
Nice run by Deontay on that one.
And that will be sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down.
This might be their last possession of the regular season, the way things are going offensively.
So 1st and 10 for the Trojans from their own 38. I formation, twins to the far side. Again, Bartholomew taking the snap, hands the ball off to his running back. He advances the ball out near the Trojan 45-yard line. Gain of 7 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 3 for the Trojans from their own 45. So the clock continues to tick with just a little over 5 minutes. The Trojans break the offensive huddle. Again, I formation. Bartholomew takes the snap, hands it off to his running back. Gain of 3 on the play, and initially that looks like that'll be sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down.
Ball spotted at the 48-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Trojans.
If Trinity was in their real offense running their RPO stuff, they could flick one outside because their safeties are committing right now downhill. They're 1-on-2 on the edge.
So again, the Trojans snap the football, hand it off to their running back. Advances the ball across the midfield stripe and into Panther territory. Be a gain of 3 on the play. That'll bring up a 2nd and 7 for the Trojans from the Panther 49.
Number 30, Rondon Johnson making the stop for the Panthers.
It appears that Coach Bartholomew has come down out of the booth this half, and he's calling from the sidelines. First time I recognize that.
The Trojans taking the snap.
Connor.
They hand it off on an end-around
Come on,
play.
Connor.
He's to the 40 and knocked out of bounds down around the Panther 35-yard line.
That's Connor Hine on the carry. They've been trying to get Connor a touch. He is such a hard-working young man. Got a little bit of burst to him, just not real large, but really ran that well. Great job by him. I'm excited for him. I've had him in class. He's just a good young man. That's real exciting.
So that'll be sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down. They break the offensive huddle, I formation. Again, here's the snap. The handoff to the running back, and he'll advance the ball back to the original line of scrimmage. No gain on the play for the Trojans. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10 from the Panther 35.
You know, this is away from the play and kind of thing you see on film. But, again, they've got a sophomore down here, Nasir Allah, that is playing the receiver. And he is working incredibly hard, blocking downfield on an interior play. That's the kind of stuff you like to see.
The Trojans in I formation again take the snap, hand it off to the running back who advances the ball down across the 30 near the Panther 29-yard line, a gain of 6 on the play. That'll bring up a 3rd and 4 for the Trojans from the Panther 29.
Tyler may be sore. He's got more carries tonight. He may not know what to do himself tomorrow.
Brings up 3rd down for the Trojans.
Go ahead. There you go.
The Trojans I formation, twin to the far side. Bartholomew under center, takes a snap, hands the ball off to his running back over the left side. Gain of 1 on the play for the Trojans. That's going to bring up a 4th and 3 for the Trojans from the Panther 28.
Ball spot at the Panther 20 brings up 4th down for the Trojans.
So as the clock continues to tick here at Pennington Field, Bartholomew takes a snap, hands the ball off to his running back. He advances the ball across the 20, down across the 15, and he's finally brought down by the Panther defensive backfield at the Panther 13-yard line. That'll be sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down.
13-yard line. It's 1st and 10 for the Trojans.
So the officials do mark the football. It'll be 1st and 10 Trojans from the Panther 13. Again, the Trojans break the offensive huddle. I formation. Twins to the far side. Bartholomew with the snap. Hands the ball off to his running back, who advances the ball down across the 10-yard line. So the official will mark the football.
Number 31 taking the handoff.
Be a gain of 3 on the play.
Brought down by 22.
Got Hector Valdez a carry on that one. It'd be interesting to look at the stats when the game is over. Just see how many touches, how many different players had touches in this game.
So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 6 for the Trojans from the Panther 9-yard line. Once again, same set formation for the Trojans. Bartholomew's taking the snap, and he will kneel the football at the 10. And with that kneel, the final seconds will tick off the clock here at Pennington Field, with the Trojans winning their final district football game of the year. Our final score here at Pennington Field, the Trojans 49 and the Panthers 7. We invite you to stay tuned for post-game information and activity here at Pennington Field.
Make sure that you check out the Trinity Trojan football website at www.trinitytrojanfootball.com. You can follow them on Twitter at Trinity Trojan FB and IAR_football for all your playoff information and spirit wear. Special thanks to my spotters this year, Miss Susan Kaufman and Miss Cynthia Loving. On behalf of the HEB administration, athletic director Mike Fielder, and stadium director Julie Bachman, and their staff, we thank you for being here tonight. Wherever your next destination may take you, we bid you safe travel and most pleasant good evening from all of us here at Pennington Field.
So if you've stayed tuned and you're still with us here at Pennington Field, we direct your attention just below the home stands, where the Trojans perform their post-game ceremonial sippy towel. Congratulations to this year's
District 3.
Thank you. Region 1, right?
Region 1, District 3.
I was looking for my paper. I couldn't find it. My bad. Yeah, Region 1, District 3, District Champions, your Trinity Trojans. And Now let's pause to honor Trinity High School with the playing of the alma mater.
Damon, you want some stats?
Yeah, Jay, why don't you you got some final stats for us here for this game?
Yeah, I've got some stats, some interesting looks to what happened. There were 8 first downs total for Paschal in this game, 27 for Trinity. Paschal had a total of 132 yards. Trinity was held to 455. The rushing, Trinity had 409 yards tonight. Paschal had 49. But kind of an interesting stat, Trinity had a total of 51 plays, and they had 27 first downs. So quick math on that, they're getting a first down more frequently than once every 2 plays.
Right.
Sometimes you worry about Trinity being explosive. They're explosive all the way through their seconds and sometimes their third players.
Yes.
Doing things. Perfect in the pass game. They were 4 for 4 as a group for a total of 46 yards and a touchdown. Ollie Gordon, of course, led the way with 3 carries, 102. It's nice to see senior Deontay Hicks get 10 carries and break 100 yards. He had 101. Tyler Quinn, another senior, had 9 carries for 45 yards. And a total of 15 Trojans carried the ball or received a pass, touched the ball tonight. So it's good that they're able to spread it around. Now we're in the one-game elimination tournament.
Right.
Things get a little bit more serious and focus has to become a little bit more keen. Again, under the situation with what it could have been, I really thought they maintained a level of sharp. I didn't see a lot of sloppy play. Maybe didn't finish the blocks quite as much as they have in the last couple of weeks. Maybe didn't finish the tackles quite as well as they have the past couple of weeks. But when you're playing a team that you can't help but know that they're a little bit inferior to you, it's sometimes tough to keep that intensity up. It was important to see that they did turn Paschal over 2 more times, got the interception and also picked up a fumble. It's good to see them in the plus category for that week after week.
Each team in the second half, of course, the clock continuously running except for change of possession for the most part. Each team basically with 3 possessions. The Trojans at one point having the ball on that continuous clock for over 6 minutes.
Yeah. 1
possession almost the entire third quarter of play. And so, like you say, crisp, some areas to improve, sharpen as we prepare to roll into the first round of playoffs.
Now, as we look at the playoffs, because of the silliness, and we were talking about this before the game, but because of the COVID silliness that we're having to go through, and not that the sickness is silly, but the adjustments that are having to be made are silly at times and really tough on teams. But because the decision on who will be the first-round opponent for Trinity won't be known until after a game on Monday,
right.
By UIL rule, you can't play a game they have to be at least 5 days apart.
Right.
So that projects Trinity to play their first playoff game on a Saturday.
Correct.
Which, we're playing tonight on a Thursday. Trinity likes to play on a Thursday and then start the playoffs on a Friday. It gives them one extra night off. It gives them a chance to get kids a little bit better, healed a little bit more. The extra day may not be to their advantage. It just kind of throws off your preparation. So the coaches are going to have to develop a good plan to get in 2 extra days prior to playing on a Saturday. And we haven't played on a Saturday this year, and that, again, changes your schedule. Now, I think the game that they played at noon on last week against Haltom, that may help them if they have a schedule, something like that, since they've already played that game as far as getting the kids up, getting them there, getting them prepared for the game. But it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out. If I were picking, I'm going to say that Timber Creek is the probable, and they will be either the 3rd or 4th place. I guess it'll be the 4th place team coming out of that district. And, again, that's a district with South Lake Carroll and Eaton High School. Byron Nelson, I believe, will be the 3rd team in. So we'll just kind of have to wait and see what happens. But long wait till we get to play that first playoff game.
Yes, a long wait. And so just a quick recap. We're going to invite you to join us next Saturday afternoon, exact time to be determined, when the Trojans will begin their march through the first round of the UIL playoffs. We know that will be, though, here at Pennington Field because they are the district champions and will be the top seat. So that will be here at Pennington. And your Trojans of Trinity High will kick off against either the Falcons of Timber Creek High School or possibly the Indians of Keller High. And we invite you, if you're interested, you can tune in. Those 2 teams will determine their playoff picture at a game this next Monday evening. So on behalf of our entire Trinity Sports Network crew, our fantastic producer, teacher, coach, and extraordinaire color commentator, Mr. Jay Fitch, we thank you for joining us and listening in this evening to this exciting event featuring the Trinity Trojans. Until next week's event, when the Trojans of Trinity High face off at Pennington Field on Saturday afternoon in the first round of playoff action against either the Falcons of Timber Creek High School or the Indians of Keller High. Team and time to be determined following Monday evening's game. This has been DR Big Daddy Emery saying, tease up and go Trojans!